फोन क्यों नहीं उठा रही हो? मैं इतनी देर से कॉल कर रहा हूँ। कहाँ बिजी थी तुम?
कपड़े धो रही थी घर के।
अच्छा, बहुत कपड़े धो लिए आज। क्या बात है, आज तो तुम बहुत हॉट लग रही हो इस साड़ी में।
आज रहने दो ना प्लीज।
क्यों? आज क्या है?
आज मैं काम करके बहुत थक गई हूँ, घर में बहुत काम था।
अरे ये क्या कर रही हो?
प्लीज समझो, मैं बहुत थक गई हूँ।
नहीं। अरे
समझो ना प्लीज।
नहीं।
नहीं।
क्या नहीं?
समझो ना आज।
अरे
प्लीज
इसमें समझना क्या है?
आज नहीं।
तुम मेरी पत्नी हो,
प्लीज आज नहीं।
तुम पे मेरा अधिकार है।
प्लीज आज नहीं।
हाँ? क्या नहीं?
नहीं।
अरे ये क्या कर रही हो?
प्लीज।
क्यों?
नहीं आज नहीं प्लीज। नहीं।
ये क्या कर रही हो?
आज
नहीं।
आज नहीं प्लीज। रहने दो ना आज प्लीज जतिन, रहने
क्यों?
दो।
ये नहीं नहीं क्या होता है?
समझो ना आज रहने दो।
नहीं, उतारो कपड़े अपने।
नहीं आज प्लीज रहने दो।
अच्छा, बदतमीजी करोगे तुम मेरे साथ? तुम मेरी पत्नी हो, तुम्हारा काम ही है यही।
आज रहने दो।
नहीं, उतारो उतारो
रहने दो।
उतारो।
प्लीज आज रहने दो प्लीज।
ये बदतमीजी तुम्हें बताता हूँ मैं आज। रुको। ऐसे करोगी? मैं तुम्हारा पति हूँ।
थी मैं तुम्हारी ही अर्धांगिनी, जो जान लेते एक बार मेरे दिल की बात, तो ना टूटती मैं, ना टूटते मेरे ख्वाहिश, जिंदा रहती मैं तुझ में ही। कितनी ख्वाहिशें थी कि तेरे हर एक छुअन से मेरे रोम रोम खिल उठेंगे, लिपट कर तेरे बाहों में हर बार मैं मिल जाऊंगी तुझ में ही। टूटे ख्वाहिश, टूटा हर मन का तार, अनचाहे तुमने जब भी मुझको पाया, मन की मीत गई, मन की प्रीत गई, तू जीता मैं हार गई, मैं तेरी होकर भी खुद से हार गई, मैं हार गई।
Why marital rape exists in homes, in data, but not in law?
The Times of India says Parliament to decide punishment if marital rape is made offence.
Not just in India, globally marital rape is difficult to pin as a crime.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be discussing on a sensitive topic which is ongoing widely in the media as well as in the court, which is a hot topic of marital rape. Today I have with me a special guest, Professor Rakesh Pandey from Kirorimal College. Sir, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for your time. Sir has been following and supporting on this topic through various arguments and NGOs and agencies. So, sir, thank you so much, and can you please enlighten us on marital rape? The most widely arguing point is regarding Section 375, the exception 2, which says that if a woman is about 15 years of age, then it is not considered as marital rape without her consent. So, what is your opinion on this?
See, the thing is that whatever is being discussed these days, the whole issue is somewhere it has been borrowed from Western ideas, okay, and it is being implemented without giving proper thought over it. That is the main issue because of which the discussions are going on, because something is being said which we are not used to saying or understanding it in that way. So that is where the conflict starts and the discussion starts. Okay, if and even I have heard that even in Western society, this is marital rape is also considered as a spousal rape, not only from one side. Okay, so we'll have to understand it in that sense. The society structure that we have over here, in that context we'll have to discuss, and that is what is being done now. Because if something is being said, see, crime is a crime, violence is violence. Okay, how to deal with it depends upon in which situation, in which circumstances that crime is being committed. So if you ask me further, I would say that the same act that you do inside the house and the same act that you do outside the house would be taken as differently. They are taken as differently. Okay, and why? Because inside the house there is a tendency to make things improve. You want to improve things. Instead of only punishing, law comes in for punishment. Okay, it serves basically two purposes. One is the satisfaction of the victim, basically, that if since I have been harassed, so let him or her also be harassed in the same way. It gives us satisfaction. Okay, it has nothing to do with whether the relationship improves after that or not. That does not matter after law comes in. Okay, so it is always better to give a scope inside the house for a period in which the things can improve. Then let us try to improve that. Okay, somewhere the people who are not comfortable with the issue of calling this as rape are basically disturbed because of this, that they think that the things that could have been improved inside the house will not be able to make improvement. Okay, it will necessarily be driven towards separation. It would driven towards conflicts. It would not be driven towards making things better. That is what is the issue, I think, and that is what is the discussion all about.
So, do you support removing of exception 2 of the section 375 IPC?
That is what I am saying. I mean, I think that there are many rules that covers whatever violence if somebody is committing inside the house. Then the protection against domestic violence, okay, and the other laws, they have enough scope to deal with these issues. Okay, unless until you do not have any sensitivity towards sustaining a family, then mindlessly you can say that implement this. Okay, but if you think that the families are also necessary for society, because families are basically a smallest form of the society, in which you have elders also, in which you have child also, in which you have women also, in which you have, so this is the smallest form of the society. If family is working fine, it helps the society also to work in a better manner. Okay, so there must be a tendency of the policy makers also to give some attention to make family working in a beautiful manner, in a sustained manner. Okay, so if this law happens to be such that it has a danger, it fears there would be more break in families, or more tendency of destroying the family structure of this society, then I think one must give a thought on this.
So every crime, it's not only just rape, but when a man or a woman, in terms of murder or say any kind of crimes, property crimes, or when the accused is punished, obviously he has to go to prison. So why is it some men are reluctant that if a man is punished because of marital rape, there will be no one to provide for the woman and children, you know. So if the men are not guilty, if they are not doing anything wrong, why is it so much hindrance, you know, in amending a new law, enforcing new law?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the law that are existing right now, they are enough to punish any person, even if it is not, the exceptions are not removed. Even then, the law covers everything. It can be, the men can be punished. Okay. The thing is that just what do you want to call this? You want to criminalize a particular kind of an act. Okay. That is the main issue. Okay. Act means violence is a violence. Okay. Whether it is a rape or not. So rape cannot happen without violence, isn't it? Yes. So if at the stage of violence only you can give protection, then rape automatically gets protected. You against rape, you are already protected. So if the laws are there to protect you against any kind of violence, okay, any kind of violence, then I think that this is also covered into that. There is no need to further go into the detail of this thing.
After the Nirbhaya case judgment, some few changes has been made in the laws when it comes to women rape and how to deal with all like how to punish, or like especially the Nirbhaya rapists, they were sentenced to death. But what about marital rape? They didn't. The exception still lies there because it doesn't consider marital rape. That was left behind when they made the new changes.
That is what I am saying. See, if a child inside your house, okay, if he steals something inside the house, stealing is a crime, isn't it? Whether you do it inside the house or outside the house, okay. But how to deal with it? If I would ask you that the moment you see your child stealing something, you should report to the police, would you do that? Is that advisable? So the thing is that, but if you are seeing somebody stealing outside the house, you will have to call the police, and just that is what is the general attitude about that. Okay, so the family is a social institution which has a responsibility towards all the members of the family. Okay, and it has to work in that way. If the family is failing, the society has a responsibility to preserve that in some way. Okay, if a law should come into a picture only when it goes beyond the control of the society. Okay, and I think in India people are of this belief that our society, our family is working in a manner which can be made better. It is not necessary to break it or to destroy it. Okay, so you'll have to take both the consideration into picture and then decide something about.
Yeah, I got your point. Like you said, anything that happens inside the house, like should not go beyond the house, like beyond the four corners of the house. Like, but when it comes to marital rape, why some women take it very seriously is because like it hurts their like sentiments, dignity, emotionally, mentally, physically. It is destroying the woman's life, and when it is destroying her life, obviously it affects the whole family and the children especially. So when a man is allowed to like do such act, like women stay silent most of the time. Obviously, like they are abide by the like marital promises. But what happens is like when we allow such violence, or I should say marital rape, because this is something against her will. So in the society itself, like when not just in the family, the men start acting, not just inside the family but outside the family, because most of the rape case happens not just by the unmarried men, but married men as well. So if we have more stringent law, don't you think like it will protect the families better? Like
See-
I understand that inside
See,
what
see,
happens inside?
till the moment you have this confidence or you have this belief that something can be made better, it is better not to take law, not to allow law into that area, because in the college itself, okay, when we catch somebody cheating in our classroom, I mean, in the exams, the first attitude is that just to counsel the person, and so that he doesn't do again, okay, he doesn't get involved in this kind of act again. So this is first instance. You'll have to also think that your institution should work in a better manner, okay. But if something goes beyond that, then law should come, the police should come and should take it. But in the first instance only, one should go to the police. Is not going to correct the environment of your house, okay. It cannot make the environment better inside the house. The law should come into the picture only when you are sure, you are confident that nothing can be made better. So let us finish it off, okay. So I think it's better. Nobody is saying that violence should continue. Nobody can argue that if somebody is being harassed, it should continue, or he or she should continue being harassed. No, not that is not the case. But how to deal with that? The difference is only in how to dealing with that problem, okay. If somebody is convinced that this relation is not going to go beyond, if somebody is not behaving properly, okay, and this sex is an act which is for both the persons to enjoy, okay. If somebody is enjoying at the cost of the other, this is not that act, kind of an act which can be approved by anybody, okay. And if that is a tendency of that person, then you cannot change that person. You should go for divorce. That is the first thing that you must start doing. You must go. You cannot change a person like that, okay. If a person is of that pervert kind of an attitude, okay, it is only because the upbringing is not good, okay, or the attitude itself that he has developed inside, it is not good, okay. So if that is the case, law has little to do with it, okay. It can only punish, okay. It cannot change. The changes can be brought only by the society, okay, by inculcating some kind of a behavioral counseling kind, okay. Everybody should be taught how to behave in the initial years of the schooling itself, how to behave with the other gender, okay. If that kind of this thing is done, training is done, how to deal with marriage. I mean, we do not do that, counseling for a marriage. If somebody is going into the marriage institution, what they should be thinking about that, and how to go, because in our tradition, marriage was a sanskar. And sanskar means that you must know that from now onwards, I will have to change myself, okay. These days, the Western concept is something which I do not approve. They say that I do not want to change, the other person should change, okay. This is not marriage. Marriage means both of us will have to be of this mentality that any situation can ask for change for me, okay, and I should be ready for that change. So compromise is not a bad word. It is not a bad word, but it has been made as a bad word because it has been expected only one side compromise, then it becomes a bad word. But in a family, everybody compromises. Everybody compromises. Okay, we compromise for our children. Children compromise for the father or mother. the wife compromises for the father compromises. So this is some kind of compromise also and some kind of encouragement also. So this is that balance you'll have to maintain. So whenever you are entering into a marriage institution, you should make up your mind to go into that. If you are not mentally prepared for that, don't go into the marriage institution. Okay, it is not just for fun that you should. The Western concept could be of fun, but in Indian concept, this is not a fun. This is a responsibility, and responsibility for all of them.
So I got your point what you said but in our society in India, we have apart from having a rich culture, we also have different religions and societies and section of people where women are forcefully married. You know, like you said, like don't get to marriage institution. But there are so many young girls who are forcefully married and to a man that they don't love. Secondly, like even the like you have said, like even the Kerala High Court have said that if any of this marital rape occurred, then it should be a ground for divorce. And when it comes to Western culture, what has it got to do with marital rape in India? I mean, like amending a new law for marital rape or removing the exception 2 of the section 375 IPC. What does it has to do with the Western law? Because like it is for the welfare of our people, for the women, for the well-being. You know, it has nothing to do with following the culture of the Western. I mean, like following the Western culture. So, like at the moment, the argument going on in High Court is that the center is taking the consensus of the chief ministers, the bar councils, the intellectuals. Is that the High Court member of the Chief Judges of High Court? So can these people alone decide what is right or what is wrong, or whether we should remove or whether we should have new law for marital rape? Should the central not take the consent of the or consult the victim, you know, especially those who has been through?
See, that is what I see. If this is a social issue, you must understand this is a social issue. So the amount of deliberation or discussion should be as wide as possible. If you want to change a society, if you want to change the attitude of a particular section of a society, then the first thing that you must do is start discussion. Okay, don't take decisions in isolation. Don't impose decisions. Okay, so it is better that you generate discussion. You keep on discussion can solve many problems, and these is on these issues. Okay, if somebody becomes aware of this thing, okay, discussion makes you aware, and awareness can give you this that whatever I was thinking was not correct. Okay, something that comes in your mind that might correct your attitude and vision. So discussion, you shouldn't say that nobody should be consulted. Everybody should be consulted. Let the discussion be as wide as possible, so that because we have, I said that we have two things to protect: the women of the family and the family also. Okay, there are many families which protect women. Okay, if you, the thing is that family doesn't come to law. Family doesn't come to the legal court. Okay, but family is an entity which is not recognized, but it works. Okay, and so there must be some kind of the right to families also. Whether because just thinking that divorce also is one thing which affects not only the husband wife, but it affects others also. Okay, but the family becomes, it becomes very difficult for the family to come again on a sound footing. The children.
So that's the exact reason why many women are keeping silent. You know,
Yes. So
not just on marital rape, but any kind of violence, abuse happening at homes. Many women are silent because of teaching rape, or they're afraid of the society. They're ashamed.
There are these days we have male activists also who would argue that even males keep their silence because of they also don't want the breakage in the family. So there are many aspects to this. Seeing only from one angle also can create troubles. So there are not only we say that it is just like dowry also. We made dowry laws very stringent, okay, and gender specific, okay. A man cannot go to the police saying that they are being harassed, okay, because of some reasons, but the women can go, okay. So this is an additional kind of a protection given to women, okay, because we think that women are more prone to get harassed, okay.
Because we live in a patriarchal society. Ours is a patriarchal society, I should say, India.
Patriarchal society also has responsibility towards women also, okay. So if patriarchal society is working fine, it protects everybody, okay. Just by saying that since we have a patriarchal society, so in this society women will always be harassed, okay. This is binary, we should not work in binaries, okay. There are families which are patriarchal, but they are working fine. All women are feeling protected over, they are all working fine. Only because it is patriarchal, everything is wrong. This is also Western concept, okay. Calling or deciding everything in terms of if somebody is black, he is always right. If somebody is white, always wrong. Patriarchal, always bad. So let us not work on those. These are Western concepts. We have our own. Let us discuss things, and if something is wrong, nobody would say, in India, nobody would say that wrong should continue. Nobody would say. We have reformed so much in our society, and nobody at the stage of discussion, nobody would give you arguments in terms of continuing harassing people. Nobody would say.
But at the moment, India is one of the country where marital rape is not criminalized. Like out of 32, so India is one of them. What would you like to say?
What I am saying, even in Western concept, it is spousal rape. Would you agree for that? That is what I am saying. I mean, if in India both kinds of rapes are, let us say, criminalized, would that serve the purpose? Because you have something other in your mind, and so if you are trying to protect and make families better, if that is your case, then it should be handled in a different manner, okay. And we should be focusing more on that. How do you teach? How do you train persons? Okay, we should give more time into that. We are not doing that. We are leaving everything on the families itself. We are not training them how to make a person better. We are not sensitizing people. So we are not doing these things. We are just trying to think that under fear everything. Under fear you cannot encourage to have respect for somebody. Fear cannot draw respect. Fear can only make you not do something out of fear. But that would not make the real correction. Real correction would be when somebody does something out of respect, okay, or out of just its own urge. If I don't want to respect you, and under the fear of law, if I start respecting you, that is not going to serve the purpose. Okay, so more attention in our society should be given to the training or counseling, so that our family is also protected and the wrong things are also curbed.
So to conclude to it, what would you like to say to the public or to our society? What will be your opinion on marital rape, and how the laws, the government, the center, or how the public should react to it?
In conclusion, I would just say that the discussion should be as wide as possible. Okay, it should be discussed, and the law also should not try to decide anything in hurry, because it seems that the court is in some kind of a hurry, but this is an issue in which it should not make a hurried kind of a decision. Okay, let it be discussed on various platforms in the society, and then I think that we have enough. Personally, I think that we have enough rules which protects women inside the house, not only from rape but even before that, because the sexual violence and the other kind of violence, the mental, the psychological, all of these things are covered under the Domestic Violence Protection Act. So everything is covered, but what at most we can do is we can think of making this as one of the reasons enough for asking for divorce. I think if we can allow this much, and even if we go for this kind of law, I think it should be called as sexual violence inside the house, not a rape, because it is different from, I feel that it is different. Even if it's rape, it shouldn't be called as rape. Okay, it should be sexual violence inside the house and should be treated accordingly. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much for your time.